What the heck is up? It's your boy Big Dave. Just heading home from hooving some weights in the weight room. Trying to feel something. Trying to feel anything at this point. Especially after that card last night. Yeah. What do we even say about this card, guys? What do we even say? I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I didn't watch any of the prelims. I didn't watch one. I watched about 8 minutes of Hamdi Abdul-Wahab versus frickin' Muhammad Usman. And then I was like, you know what? No. I'm not gonna spend my Saturday doing that. I had to celebrate a birthday. I'm not gonna be checking my phone, checking Tapology, trying to break down these fights that no one gives a damn about. So I'm just gonna talk about the fights I did watch. Now, I'll start with the main event, because why not? Khalil Roundtree pretty much dominates Jamal Hill for 5 rounds. You know what I mean? He did the job. And I'm not going to be one of these guys who's like, it was a boring fight. Because, it wasn't the most action-packed. But honestly, for Khalil Roundtree, that's probably one of the best performances he's ever had. Freaking hot as heck. One of the best performances he's ever had. The most consistent he's ever looked. He didn't gas out. He conserved his energy. He went back to the leg kicks. Let's freaking go. And yeah, he basically just completely neutralized Jamal Hill. Never let Hill get going. Constantly on his bike, moving, setting up shots. Basically destroyed Jamal Hill's legs with outside calf kicks. Landed some good punches. I don't know how hurt Hill was. I didn't really watch anything back. I kind of just watched it once, and I have no desire to ever watch it again. But yeah, just kind of outworked him. Landed some good right hooks. Used his leg kicks. Came back to Muay Thai Khalil. And Jamal, his footwork really let him down. And, he can say, Khalil didn't stand and trade. But let's be real here. It's not like Jamal was in there freaking putting a crazy amount of pressure on Khalil and forcing him to fight. He was kind of just sauntering up to him with his cowboy boxing style, which I still like. But Khalil, it's not like he was like aggressively coming at Khalil, drawing out punches and punishing him. He was being very slow and methodical, and Khalil just wasn't playing that game. And I think, honestly, this is a level up fight for Roundtree. This shows that he's not just a berserker. You know what I'm saying? He's not just, if he doesn't knock you out, he loses. He went 5 rounds, didn't get over, never got overwhelmed, never once looked like he was in trouble, never played Jamal Hill's game. And I can do nothing but respect that. I think a skill set like that, he's already got the power. Everyone knows he's got the power. Everyone knows he can knock you out. He's got a good chin. So now the fact that he's proving that not only does he have great power and great athleticism, but he can actually fight 5 rounds with a game plan and keep to it, and he never looked like he was doubting himself. And to be honest, that makes him way more dangerous. I don't know how he's going to do when someone puts that pressure on him. But, if you're going to stand there and try to play a tit-for-tat kickboxing game with Khalil, like he shows, he's a tough dude to beat that way. So, I picked Jamal Hill. I picked him by 4th round TKO. As soon as I seen the 2nd round when Khalil was wrecking his legs, I knew it was a bad pick. But, yeah, I don't know. Jamal Hill's really going to have to work on his freaking footwork. And Khalil just got to keep doing what he's doing. And as long as he can, manage his cardio, he's going to be a tough guy to beat. So, yeah, that was a good fight. Co-main event. Oh, and I picked Jamal Hill, so I got that one wrong. Freaking co-main event, Ignacio Bahamondes versus Rafael Fiziev. And yeah, you know, I feel like I had a pretty good read on this one. I thought to beat Fiziev, if you're going to try to be an outside striker and you're going to try to use one strike at a time, he's just conditioned to deal with that. And yeah, he showed it, man. He's just so freaking fast on the back foot. And he's such a good striker that you're going to have to legitimately, I don't know, it's just you're going to have to, like, not try to play that game with him. And Bahamondes was doing good, man. He's so tall. And when he was letting, like, 1 or 2 shots go, like, he was landing. He was doing pretty good. But Fiziev, he just outlanded him. He just outworked him. You know, he had the speed advantage. He basically saw everything coming. And his reactions are like that. Quick as hell. And, you know what I mean? It was just a solid performance. And he got some takedowns. Which is weird, because he would get takedowns and then would just, like, refuse to engage. This was fighting old school MMA, where he gets a takedown, doesn't like the guard, and then starts throwing leg kicks and stuff like that. Let me fix this. There we go. Starts throwing leg kicks in the guard and just kind of lets Bahamondes stand up. So I don't know what the point was of takedowns, but they, you know what they did do? They broke Bahamondes' rhythm and gave him something else to worry about. And when you're at a big size disadvantage, I mean, you got to use every tool you have. You got to keep those guys guessing. You can't just stand and do a boxing game, because, you know, it's really hard to time someone over and over and dart in with big shots and you know, big left hook to the body, slipping off to the left hand, coming over the top, and all that jazz. So yeah, picked that one right. Everyone was picking Bahamondes, but I figured, you know, Fiziev had that one in the bag, and yeah, so I got that one right. I pretty much got every fight right on the main card, except for the main event, which is kind of the most important one. Okay, so yeah, Fiziev wins, and yeah, finally a good pick on my part. What happened next? Oh, Curtis Blades versus Rivzan Kunaev. Yeah, you know, I said that Kunaev is dangerous. I said that he always has a chance because Blades, I don't think I said he has a bad chin. I'm pretty sure what I said was he's just a little defensively not there. But, you know, he was showing some good stuff, bro. Like, I don't think he's ever going to be a great boxer. There's just, I don't know what's missing. I don't know if it's the fact that he doesn't really parry shots. His arms are kind of just in front of him, completely static with no fluidity. And, you know, his main defense is to duck his head low and kind of do some head movement, which works. I mean, you know, he dodged a lot of punches, but he also ran into some punches. But I didn't think Kunaev was the kind of puncher that was going to knock him out. I thought Curtis Blades would be able to outstrike him from range and use the wrestling to kind of neutralize him, and that's pretty much what happened. Pretty bad fight. Yeah, you know, what do you say? Curtis Blades, like, is not the kind of guy you want to make your UFC debut against. Oh, get some air real quick. Good Lord. And yeah, you know, I picked that one right, but I think everyone picked that one right. Kunaev looks like he could be decent, but is like, what was he supposed to do? And he can't out-grapple Blades, and he's not like a huge dynamic striker. So, you know, just pretty straightforward decision by Blades. I thought maybe Kunaev was going to steal it, but in the third round, yeah, his output was super low. Are you going to let me merge, or are you going to go, buddy? Okay, he's letting me merge. Thank you. Yeah, Anyways, I picked that one right, but who didn't? Moving down the card, Myrtebek Orobai dominates. What the heck is his freaking name? I forget his name, dude. Tafik Musayev dominates him. He missed weight by 10 pounds, so I'm not gonna glaze him too hard. But man, he just basically. And you know what? I said this on one of my live streams. I said the best time to take someone down, especially a striker, is when they're kicking you. Because when someone's kicking you, surprise, surprise, they only have one foot to stand on. The best time to get in. You don't want to become predictable and duck into a head kick. But if they're throwing naked, blatant body kicks at you, grab their freaking leg and take them the frick down. That's what he did. He took him down. Horsed him around a little in the first round, or in the beginning. Tafik looked completely undersized compared to this frickin' Mongolian monster who missed weight. And then, he gets up, throws another kick, gets taken down. Myrtebek gets to side control, locks up that Kimura, and wrenches it behind his back and gets the tap. You know, I picked Myrtebek. I don't think I picked by submission. But I just knew he was going to be a tough matchup for Tafik. And also, he missed weight, so he made it even more likely that he was going to win. As soon as I saw it was a catch weight, I was pretty confident in that pick. Not much to say. Dominated him on the ground. Then we had, here's the banger. Nicholas Moda versus Nazim Sadikov. And what a war. Sadikov gets the second round TKO, KO, whatever you want to call it. And just what a war, man. Moda has nothing to be ashamed of after a fight like that. This was a fight he was a big underdog in, and he came and showed out, bro. He was tougher than he ever looked. He took damage better. His defense looked tighter. His boxing looked way better. He was going to the body. I thought he could, I think he just gassed himself out in that first round. He hurts Sadikov, puts him against the fence, starts working him to the body. But the problem is he's throwing all these hooks, and Sadikov is just shielding, moving with every strike, blocking him. He got hurt a little bit to the body, went to his knees, got back up, and then you can just see Sadikov's a smart fighter. He's not the most technical, he's not the biggest, he's not the strongest, but he's a smart guy with good cardio. And you could just see he knew that Moda gassed himself out. And immediately after Moda takes a backward step and tries to catch his breath, Sadikov comes in with big body shots and knees up the middle, and left hands, left high kicks. And there's no technical analysis here. They just tore each other apart. And Sadikov, just split him open with an elbow. Put that frickin' mustard on him. And then in the second round, he gets Moda against the fence, and Moda, I think he was just tired. He started dropping his hands, started swinging a little wide, and Sadikov catches him with a beautiful right hook, knocks him down, finishes him with ground and pound, and that's a wrap. But like I said, Moda has nothing to be ashamed of. He gave it all he had. He never quit. He just, the body broke down, and Sadikov is just a tough dude. And dude, honestly, fight of the year so far. I'm obviously driving right now. I can't think too clearly, but just what a performance, man. What a performance. And that's a fight I woke up this morning and watched it again because it was so good. But I picked that one right. So Nazim Sadikov gets the second round TKO. Moving down, so what we did Jamal, Ignacio, Bahamondes, Fiziev, the heavyweights, Myrtebek. Okay, so last fight was Bogdangrad versus, was that a main event? Main card? Bogdangrad versus Muhammad Naimov. Pretty boring fight, I'm not gonna lie. The way these two guys' styles matched up, it was always going to be just a grind. Naimov would have the advantage late, and that's what it kind of looked like, you know. It looked like he was able to keep his pace and just outwork Bogdan. Not like he did a bunch of damage. Neither guy really did a bunch of damage. That's not usually the way they like to fight. You know, they like to break the opponent. And, you know, Naimov just had a little bit more output, a little bit more success. And that's it. Not a great fight, not a fight anyone's going to replay. I don't even think those guys are going to go back and watch that fight, except for maybe Bogdan to see some things he can improve. But yeah, for entertainment value, not a great fight. But for my picks, great fight, because I picked Muhammad Naimov. So yeah, and then yeah, I didn't watch any of the prelims, but I did really bad. I got both girl fights wrong. I got the Muhammad Usman fight wrong. I got the Oban Elliott fight wrong. I got really blessed with that Jun Young Park fight because I thought they were going to cheat him out of a win, but luckily he's the Iron Turtle for a reason. Absolute Chad, South Korean. And then I think I got one more. I don't care. Anyways, the big news, Jon Jones is officially retired. We all knew this was happening. It's no real surprise. He was bullied out of retirement by the online people and by Tom Aspinall. And this isn't going to just be me hating on Jon Jones. You know, he did some spectacular things in his career. You can't deny some of the highlights he has. Now, obviously, there's always going to be an asterisk next to everything because of the PEDs, because of the eye pokes, because of just the nature of Jon Jones and his whole public life being in the eyes of everyone. But the fact remains, he had a challenger and he didn't want to fight him. He basically admitted it. And that is now what he's going to be known for. And if Tom Aspinall goes on, which like he looks like he might, to have a really long career and become, you know, maybe a GOAT in the making, we'll see. Still too early to tell. This is going to hang over Jon Jones' entire career. I don't know. He just got another misdemeanor for doing some weird sus behavior with some girl in his car, not having underwear on. I don't know. But, you know, he must have a stranglehold on the Albuquerque frickin' police force because they just refuse to hold this man accountable for anything he does. And it's not helping him. It's only hurting him because why would he ever change if everything he does he gets away with? It's one of the biggest things. Like, the only way to grow for some people is to lose everything, but he'll never lose everything because everyone seems to want to baby him and be friends with the GOAT. Be friends with, you know, the greatest of all time. Well, I want Jon to like me, and I'm scared, and people are scared of him, and you should be. This dude's a menace. But now I mean, let's put it this way: he's so unaccustomed to taking a loss that he would rather, you know, sabotage everything he's worked for instead of getting in the ring with Tom Aspinall. You know, he says he has nothing left to prove. Unfortunately for him, if Tom wouldn't have been there, yes, we could have seen him retire and be like, there's no one for him to fight. But he had a challenge and he didn't stand up to it. And it's not about how you fail. Like, I know you got guys on the internet who are like, you lose one and they call you a fraud and say you were never good. Those are losers, and those people, their opinion means less than the fucking shit that my dog takes. What matters is the respect of your peers and the people that are in the trenches with you. And those people now know that Jon Jones didn't want to take a loss. And he would rather retire than fight the obvious next generation of fighter. He beat Cyril Gane, good. But Tom Aspinall is the one. No one was ever saying Cyril Gane was going to be the GOAT. Tom Aspinall's the one. But now Tommy is the undisputed heavyweight champ. What we've been all saying, gosh, this freaking camera. What we've been all saying, that Tom is the undisputed champion. And now Dana White had to tuck his tail between his legs, go on the press conference and admit it. So, yeah. Shout out Tom Aspinall. He is the undisputed champ. But, alright, I just got home. Yeah, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you like more of this nonsense. If not, whatever. I appreciate you watching anyways. Alright, take care.